Welcome back. We were joined by UFC featherweight Fernando Padilla, aka El Valiente. How are you, Fernando?
Really good, Jesse. Thank you. Thank you for having me here today. Thank you for having time for me.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Thank you for joining me. You've got a big fight coming up. You're taking on Luis Pajuelo on March 23rd. How are you feeling about that fight? What do you think about the matchup?
I really like it. I think it's a good matchup for me. Stylistically, it's a fight that I like. I want. It reminds me a lot to my first fight in the UFC, even being that last year with Julian. Julian is a guy I mentioned a few times. He's a guy who will bring a fight, and I think Luis is the same. I think Luis is gonna come to the fight ready to bang, ready to have a scrap with me, and that's what I think where I strive the best in my fights, where I do my
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was I remember I was watching that fight live with Julian, and I thought that because you overcame some adversity in that fight, and you managed to have one of the better knockouts of that. I know it was a standing TKO, I believe, if I remember correctly, but still, it was just a really impressive performance. Now, in your last fight, it didn't go your way, obviously, against Kyle Nelson. But so, what are you bringing into this fight from that fight? That's like, what adjustments are you making? Without giving away your game plan, obviously. What adjustments are you making? What sort of things are you cleaning up, and what are you taking from that fight into this fight?
I just feel that I can mix up my weapons better. I think being an MMA fighter, like actually show that I'm an MMA fighter, not just boxing. I feel that everyone talk about getting in love with your hands and all that stuff, and I think uh unconsciously happened on the after like getting my fight with Julian, and then I went with Cal. I should mix my weapons a little bit better, maybe a little bit more kicks, knees, even elbows. But I stick to a lot of boxing, and I feel that that was a little bit of the problem with that fight. So just be more of an MMA fighter, be able to just move in the cage, in the ground, in the grappling, in the striking, and show everything that I have, not just that I am a good boxer, but show that I'm a good MMA fighter.
Right, absolutely. Love it. Is it at the Apex? It's at the Apex,
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna be at the Apex.
Well, I'll be looking forward to it. I'll be checking it out. It's March 23rd. It's on the Namajunas card. So you'll be
Yes,
taking
sir.
on Luis Pujuelo. So good luck, man. But I want to go over a few other topics with you before you go. Uh, Max Holloway, he's in your division. He's stepping up to fight Justin Gaethje for the BMF. How do you see that fight going down? How do you think Max is going to do
Oh
at
my God.
155?
I think if the weight translate good to 155, he's gonna be this time he have a lot of time, right? It's not
Yeah.
like when he fight Dustin that it was pretty quick. He had to go up. So I hope he did the changes good, so naturally he went up on weight, and then he's gonna be able to perform as good as he does in 45. uh, I think if he does that, he's gonna get a TKO in the third round against Gaethje, just because both of them are confrontative fighters. They both like to strike, so
Yeah.
something like that is gonna happen. uh, I feel that if the weight doesn't translate good, and Max start getting tired, probably second one or the third round, Gage is going to get a take, get a TKO, if
Yeah.
not of a KO.
Right, right, right. Yeah. It's always tougher for the guy moving up a weight class. It's always
Yes.
tougher. Um, you have a new champion in your division, Ilia Topuria. He took out the legend, and Alex Volkanovski. Just curious, what do you think about Topuria being champion? He says he might not fight till August, so we don't know what his time frame is. Just what are your thoughts on the way that the division is shaking up?
I mean, I think he put a notice on the division. Obviously, what he said was really true. I think it's time to get like open up the doors for new competition. But man, I mean, Bulk was there because of a reason. He destroyed a lot of good competition. He showed that even when you're younger than him, it doesn't really matter. I think the difference with this fight against Topuria was that Ilya just was able to modify his strategy better inside of the cage, and that's what cost Bulk the fight. So he's a good fighter, man. He's a great fighter. It's obviously what he did is something that nobody was expecting, but it just show you that we all can do those things. We all, if you really truly believe in yourself and work hard, you can get there. So I feel that for me, it's a motivation. It's more hunger to be like, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be there. I'm gonna take that belt too one day. So yeah, man. Topuria just did not. I don't want to say the impossible, but I feel the same way that when Islam and Volk fight the first time, that like Volk show that okay, Dagestani wrestling ain't that crazy thing that everyone like is more human. Like you just show that everyone in this sport is human.
Yeah.
So everyone can get taken down, everyone can get knocked out, and I think that it's big motivation for me. I hope for the rest of the division too, and I mean, tough division. 45 is stacked with
It is.
really good fighters. So let's see what's happening this next year.
Yeah. It sounds like Topuria maybe not inspired. Would that be the right word? Like, it was kind of inspirational how he was able to do it.
Hell yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I mean, he believed in himself. He said it, and he went and did it.
Yeah,
So
he called his shot all right. I mean, he literally
yes,
put
sir.
on his social media that he was the champion before the fight even happened. That was
Yes, sir.
he called his shot. Um,
That's what it is.
so there's the talk about who should get the first crack at Topuria. There's talk that Volk deserves the rematch. There's talk about Brian Ortega. There's talk about Movsar Evloev. What do you think? Where do you think the division should go now?
I think I mean if you ask me if I can have the last word, I think Bulk should have his rematch just because he's a champ, he deserved
Yeah.
it. He would defend that title too, so I think that's why he deserved that rematch opportunity. And if not, I feel that making a fight of Mobstar, come on, what's the name of that
Movsar
guy?
Evloev. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mobstar and Brian will be the best thing, and the winner of that fight will be the guy for going for the title.
Yeah, then fight in Spain. I think that's what they want to do. They'd want to get the winner of that to go to Spain. That would make the most
Yeah,
sense. So how many fights away do you think you've got until you're getting a title eliminator fight?
probably more like 3 years,
Okay.
three
Yeah,
more
no, I
years.
mean it's a fair question though. I mean, it's like because I ask only because UFC just planted its roots in Mexico. They built a
Yes,
PI in Mexico. So Mexican MMA is really starting to get moving here. You've obviously
yes,
got
sir.
Moreno, you've got Yair, you've got some big stars, you've got Alexa Grasso, who's currently champion. Big stars are growing. You're one of those names that could potentially be a big star. You need some fights to go your way. You need to go on a little run here. You've got UFC 306 coming up at the Sphere on Mexican Independence Day. I imagine that's a card you'd want to fight on, right?
Yes, yes, I do want to stack some wins this year and probably get into that sphere fight, sphere card. Sorry,
Yeah.
uh, that's the main goal. Just win this fight that I have next. Like completely focus on that, winning, and then if I can get another fight before September, that would be perfect. If not, if then they want to save me for that card, I'm down for it. I'm excited for it.
Who do you think should headline Mexican Independence Day at the Sphere? There's been all this sort of talk about who should be the main event for the Sphere. Who do you think should headline it?
I mean, it's a really hard thing to say because we still have one champion. So if you ask me as a Mexican, I feel that that will be the headliner again Alexa Grasso. But uh, but I don't know, man. Like the fighting word is funny. So you never know if Yair is able to fight one more time this year, and then he want to fight on the September card. I feel that even Brandon can promote a really big fight. Um, Against this guy who just win the another Russian that just won, Mokaev.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, he just once again against Alex, and he was talking about getting these title fights and all these things. Even the guy who knocked out Matt Chanel, I feel that that will be a good fight for Brandon. But like I say, I feel that if you ask me right now at this moment, we have a champion, and the champion should be the main event in there. So I
I,
think Alexa will be the one.
I have one for you. Tell me what you think. He's not in the UFC right now, but Nate Diaz is Mexican American. And if he came back to the UFC, what would you think about him headlining that card? Because he said that he wants to fight on that card.
That would be crazy if he comes back and headline that card against like a big name, like
Against Connor,
McGregor,
maybe.
whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Connor, whoever want to fight him, pretty much
Yeah.
we thought about the same.
Yeah.
So that would be huge. Why would
Yeah.
I not like to be in that card?
I would love that. I would love that. Hey, Fernando, thank you so much for joining me. Best of luck on March 23rd. I'll be rooting for you. I'll be following you closely. Get the job done. And let's catch up again, okay?
I appreciate you, my man. Thank you. And yes, let's catch up soon.
All
You
right, cool,
already
man.
know.
Hey, best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, bro.
I see you around.
Let's go.